right, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Everyone who's listening bright and early, 6 a.m. these episodes come out. How are you guys coping?
Not.
How are you coping?
I'm not. Got coffee.
Yeah, I've got my coffee today. I don't know what it is. I've been sleeping in so much lately. Like, haven't been getting up before 9.
Yeah, you've been super tired.
I don't know if it's like stress or anxiety or...
Hormones.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
The joys of being human.
Yeah.
I don't know. All these things happen and we don't know why.
It's fun.
Anyway, guys, today we actually prepared this episode around Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
And we just haven't been in to record it yet. But it was a case of how much do we actually know about the history of LGBT community and everything that has kind of gone on in the world, and what do we know about individual countries, and do we know where it's safe to travel, and do we know all these things? So Lauren and I thought that we would put a quiz together. So we're going to quiz each other, but it's kind of just like educational facts and see how much you guys know.
Yeah, you guys can play along because I honestly have no idea. I know that I am very uneducated when it comes to this, and I think that's why this episode came about.
Yeah, and I think I will also be the first to admit that this is as submerged as I've been in the gay community doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Before that, I've kind of just like skated around the outskirts and I was like, yeah, I'm part of the LGBT group.
Alphabet Mafia,
yeah, but I haven't...
You haven't involved yourself or immersed yourself
Yeah,
fully.
bands that I've been in have played at like Pride events and Big Gay Day and stuff, but we never really like submerged ourselves in being advocates for people or rallying. And I think, you know, those things are obviously extremely important if you want to do that. I guess I've just never been one of those people. And so together doing this podcast,
We have that
this
sort of
is
platform now.
yeah, this is our advocacy, and this is us doing it in our own way and, you know, trying to give everyone a voice like we say every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's kick off this quiz and see how much everybody knows. And, you know, don't be feeling some sort of way if you don't know the answers to these questions.
I mean, hands up, because we both just said we have no idea.
I literally learned everything by writing these things down.
Yeah,
I had
same.
no idea about most of this.
Same.
But that's why it's important if we want to learn more about our community and what our rights are in different places that we're going to travel to potentially.
I think also where the community has come from, how far we've come, and how far we still have yet to go.
Yeah, and that's always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's kick off. Do you want to start, baby?
Sure. This is one for you, obviously. Who was the first ever...
Who else is here?
Ghost. Who was the first ever drag queen in the 1860s? Queen of drag.
Ooh.
And no, it's not who we all think of.
In the 1860s, I know RuPaul jokes about being a dinosaur, but he's not that old. He's 63, actually. We looked that up the
Yeah,
other
we
day.
did.
Look, I would have said it would have been... Is it Australian? They're clearly not Australian.
No, and I honestly had no idea, but this is like a very historical...
Wow, 1860.
Yeah, and obviously RuPaul's taken the Queen of Drag.
Yeah. But I
Being
mean,
from
everyone
that.
starts somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
I had no idea who this was. So
Okay, yeah.
You won't.
Lay it on me.
An African-American born into slavery named William Dorsey Swan.
I've heard that name before.
Have you?
Yeah.
I
and
haven't.
It might have been in a true crime episode I was listening to about drag queens.
Oh. So he actually was the first person in the United States to lead a queer resistance group. That's wild to me for the 1800s.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure that I've heard his name been dropped before. Maybe in Paris is Burning or something they make reference.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so that was the name again. Say the name again so everyone knows.
William Dorsey Swan.
Okay.
Yeah.
First ever drag queen.
First ever
recorded.
recorded drag queen from the 1860s, Queen of Drag.
Wow. Okay, so mine is a little bit broader,
Yeah.
I guess. So my first question to you is, do you know when LGBTQ plus History Month is in Australia?
June? July?
No.
October?
Yes.
Oh.
It's in October. You were just going to rattle off all the months until you hit one.
Birthday month.
Yeah.
Woo, Pride month.
You little gay baby.
Such a gaby. I actually did know that, I think. But I think because...
In America, it's June, right?
Yeah.
And we've been talking to our American friends.
We've been talking to all our American friends, and we'll be having
We're going to do a June
coming
Pride
up
episode for them. Yeah.
for them. So I think that's where I got confused. But okay, Australia's October. Gotcha.
October. Everybody, put it in your...
Calendar.
Yeah.
This one sort of goes back to the drag scene. Where does the term drag queen come from?
I know this.
I know you know this.
So back in the, I don't know what the, it's probably 1800s to be fair, women were not allowed to act in theatre productions.
True.
So men had to play those feminine roles. And so back in the day, when men used to dress up in the female costumes, it was called putting your drags on.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Good job. So
I'm really proud that I knew that.
you should be, but very, very close. It was the 19th century.
Oh, okay.
And again, theatre slang, sensations of long skirts trailing on the floor, men dressed as women. Exactly what you said.
Putting on your drags.
Putting on your drags.
All right, my next question for you. This one is a little bit more hard-hitting and I have some facts to follow it up like your last question.
Okay.
How many countries approximately still criminalize homosexuality?
Oh, I'd say there'd be quite a few.
There's a lot
60.
more.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
68.
Oh, wow, shit.
Yeah, so as of April 2023, 68 countries still criminalize homosexuality in the world. Most of these countries are in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, of course.
Middle East, yeah.
So in 11 of these countries, it is actually still possible to receive the death penalty for any private, consensual same-sex relationship or activity.
That's terrible.
These countries, the 11 countries, are Iran, Northern Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Yemen, Afghanistan, Brunei, Mauritania, Pakistan, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates.
That's so sad.
So this is kind of good to know if you're traveling.
yeah.
You need to know where are the safest places to be yourself, and where obviously we live in a world where we shouldn't have to hide, but when it comes down to our safety.
Yeah, I think unfortunately there's places where, you know, say you and I would go and travel, you're not allowed to hold hands or be affectionate or anything.
I think it's important to arm yourselves with the knowledge so that you know where is safe to be you and where is not.
It's true.
Yeah. And yeah, it's quite shocking, really. Off the top of my head, I'm not very geographically
Inclined.
well. I don't know a lot about geography, and everyone who knows me will laugh at that. But
you get that from your mother.
yeah, I don't know how many countries there are in the world. It's over 100. I know that much.
Actually, as of today, there's currently 195.
Yeah, so out of 195 countries, 68 still criminalize to people just wanting to love each other, like consensually love each other.
Wild. It's sad.
Knowledge.
It's sad. Why does someone's happiness affect you?
And yet, you know, there's still so much war. This
Yeah.
is just the one thing I will never get is people will put war ahead of love.
Yeah.
And that is ridiculous.
That's stuff.
That's the world we live in.
It's really sad. This is going back, but we're heading to Australia now. So for some reason, I went all around the drag scene.
Oh, I love that you did that. Because it's like the pop culture aspect
the
of,
pop culture
of the gay
aspect,
community.
yes.
And I think that's what I love the most is that people that aren't open to the queer community or the gay community shut themselves off to so much creativity and so much love and so much laughter and so much comedy.
Yeah, exactly. So this was, who was the first drag/trans celebrity in Australia? This is, I'll give you like around 1970s. So it's hard to tell. And apparently they did drag first and then came out as trans later.
Okay. So
I had no idea who this was.
Oh, okay. Well, then I probably,
Yeah.
if you don't know, then I probably don't
Yeah.
know. But I would have said Dame Edna, like Barry Humphries, but I know that he is not trans.
He's not trans.
So,
No, so her name is Carlotta.
oh yeah, there's a
Yeah.
movie about
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Okay.
And she made history in 1970s with her gender confirming surgery.
Wow.
So she was the first trans woman in Australia to have gender confirming surgery in the 1970s.
Wow. See, in the 70s.
Yeah, that's insane.
And was there any backstory did you find, like, because obviously we have so many people saying, oh, transitioning has only just come about now. No, it's been around forever.
It's
it's just
clearly
how much you've known about it and how it's been publicized or not publicized.
So I did actually find some articles, but I think I'm going to save that because I want us to do a whole episode around queer representation.
Yeah, that would be good. Like, do an individual episode on these people that have really paved the way.
History People Month.
We should delve into the history of when the first person to transition, when the first...
Yeah.
Because of that argument, oh, it's only come about now and it's only prevalent now. That's not the truth.
No, it's not. It's just talked about more.
Trans people, non-binary people, queer people, we've been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
It is literally about how comfortable anybody was to share those inner turmoils and inner feelings because of safety.
Yeah, exactly.
And because of being prosecuted.
Yeah.
You can be prosecuted now in some of these countries. Like, look at the facts.
It's sad.
So my next one is, mine is very like political, I guess, and yours is very fun.
That's all right. We balance each other out.
We
it's
even
good.
each other. Okay, which country was the first to legalize gay marriage?
Oh, do I know this?
You know it's European.
France.
Nah.
Oh, Norway.
Close, but no.
Oh, what is it?
Netherlands.
Oh, damn, so close.
France. Norway. Netherlands.
I did say Netherlands. You said Netherlands.
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually.
And so this kind of goes into my next question, which I won't ask you. I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
The Netherlands was also the first country to have the first legal gay wedding, and that was in 2001.
Wow. Well, that makes sense. Though.
Yeah.
That makes heaps of sense. Again, my whole thing has been drag so far.
Lauren's pop culture LGBTQ plus quiz.
Well, I think, like we said, it's a balance of things. And whilst we're talking about some heavy issues,
Oh, you have to have the light stuff.
you got to have the light stuff.
Yeah,
so,
otherwise we won't laugh, we'll just cry. So.
Yeah, exactly. When was the drag scene in Australia first established?
Oh, you'd have to say around Priscilla, right? Like,
I think
is that
so.
70s?
Earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
50s?
Lower.
Really?
Yeah.
30s?
No.
Oh.
I said lower, not.
Yeah, lower than 50.
Oh, sorry, I meant higher.
60s.
Yeah, 1961 in Sydney.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still going on my political rant, obviously. These are all...
All political.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So how many countries have currently legalized gay marriage?
Not a lot.
Well, it's more than I thought, maybe.
20.
Nah, more than that.
Oh, 50.
Hey, 30?
50.
Nah, there's less than 50.
30.
Yeah, 34.
Oh.
So as of records shown from June 2023, 34 countries have currently legalized gay marriage.
And Australia was very slack and slow.
Yeah, but we're still ahead of all those countries that would still give you the death penalty at least. So
That's true.
small blessings.
That is true. Small blessings. This is an easy one for you, and I think hopefully you would know this. You might not know the date, but you'll know
Okay.
something. When did drag become mainstream?
Drag become mainstream when RuPaul...
RuPaul is part of the answer.
Okay, so RuPaul started Drag Race in 2000 and... Is it a single digit?
Mm-hmm.
What's he up to on USA? Season 17. So
Yeah.
17 years ago. So what would that be? 2002.
2009.
I was going to say 2009.
I thought you were. I was like trying to telepathically tell you.
I was taking too long. I was going to do the maths, but I was taking too long.
Should have gut feeling it.
Yeah, well. What date was gay marriage legalized in Australia?
Oh, I can't remember the date, but I know it was in 2017.
Yeah, it was December 9th.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did know that actually.
I remember that because I was actually in LA at the time.
Were you?
And I woke up to the news that it was legal in Australia
Legalised.
now. And it was like, we had this little celebration. It was fun.
That's cute. I love that. Oh, this one was a little bit political for me.
Oh, you're coming over the line,
I came
are you?
over. I did. What year did the Stonewall riots take place?
1978.
No.
1974.
No.
Oh, I was thinking when Mardi Gras started as a result of the Stonewall riots.
No.
I don't know. Tell me.
1969.
Cool. So, and what was the Stonewall riots?
So the Stonewall riots, also known as the Stonewall Uprising or Stonewall Rebellion, were a series of protests by members of the LGBTQ community in response to a police raid that began early morning hours in 1969 in Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village.
And that's in New York, right? Greenwich
yeah.
Village, yeah.
And basically it was just to start a gay liberation, a gay movement that queer, trans...
Yeah, that we exist and
that
we're
we
here.
exist,
And...
that we have a life too, that we're allowed to be. And it lasted for 6 days.
Wow. So that's a long time to be held up, like protesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. But these people
They
helped...
fought for our community. They fought for our rights. And now we've made such a huge progress.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go, but such huge progress thanks to these people.
Well, thanks to everybody who helped pave the way for the next generation of queer people to feel okay. And, you know, we still have so many people in our community paving the way.
Yeah.
So I guess thank you to so many people who, you know, risked their lives.
Yeah, essentially. I think that's what people forget. People forget that, you know, yes, Mardi Gras is a massive celebration and everything, but people forget that it's not just a party.
Yeah, it's not a party.
It's not a party. It's actually quite a serious thing.
It represents the journey that people had to go through to get to this place where we can walk down the street holding hands with our partner.
Yeah.
And
where we can feel free.
Not be thrown in jail.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's still the fear that we can come up against violence. That fear is diminishing a little bit every year, I suppose, and hopefully it will continue to. But yeah, there's a long journey there that a lot of people don't realize. And I guess that's the thing that people don't get when some people come at you and say, where's the straight pride?
Yeah.
And like we won't get into that in this episode. I do think it would be interesting to do an episode on straight privilege.
Yes, me too.
Because I think that a lot of people that don't identify as queer don't understand what privileges they do have.
Yeah.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's how we move forward.
Yeah.
And it's how we just treat each other with respect.
It's just respect. We're all humans after all.
Yeah. All right. Sweet little history lesson there.
Yeah.
That's good because I didn't know anything about the Stonewall riots. I know these are things exactly why we're doing this because I don't know.
No, well, we don't know.
I'm staying on my political agenda. I'm glad that you joined me for a little bit.
For a second.
So what year did same-sex relationships actually become legal in Australia? And let me tell you, it was late.
Oh.
It was not early.
Legal.
Mm-hmm. Like you were alive.
Really?
So it was not that long ago.
1996.
1994.
Oh, so close.
So this actually...
That surprises me.
It raises some eyebrows for me because it's kind of like we have all these people that have obviously come out so early on in their life, and this would have been like say 70s, 80s, there was all the 80s panic about like the AIDS pandemic and all that kind of stuff, right? It was still deemed illegal until 1994.
That's crazy.
So all of these people who were openly out, or I shouldn't say so openly out because
couldn't be.
There's only so much open you can be when, your life is, I guess, threatened by
society.
Yeah, illegalizing your love for somebody else. It brings you back to the struggle that interracial couples have.
Yeah.
And, I can't believe that even that was a thing because people put so much emphasis on two people loving each other. It's just ridiculous. I could rant about it all day. It's just so wrong.
That's so wild. Mm-hmm. That is wrong.
So 1994, so it's like not that long ago.
No, not at all. I'm like gobsmacked because I did not know that.
It's literally 30 years ago this year.
Wow. Yeah. That's my age.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Holy shit. In which Taylor Swift song does she mention the GLAAD,
glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that song because I love that line that's like shade
never made anybody less gay.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know what GLAAD is, that's the non-profit LGBTQIA advocate organization in the US.
Yeah. Back to origin stories of us coming out. So all the way back to episode one. When I talked about the TV show South of Nowhere.
Yeah.
They had all these things to do with GLAAD.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I know what GLAAD is. Being a kid and you're watching those kind of TV shows and seeing those organizations. Me as a kid, I joined a bunch of forums.
Yeah.
Because that's where you talk to other people like you that are like-minded. You can't just...
That's the only place you can really go.
Yeah, you can't just jump on AOL or MSN and hope to find it was different to a chat room. You were a bit safer because it wasn't instant messaging.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were glad you would post in there about things that they were doing and advocating for people. And
wow.
It was just it was awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so... Okay, my next question is, which city is voted the most LGBT friendly in Australia?
Ooh, Sydney?
Yeah, it's Sydney.
So I was like, that's the only one that makes sense.
Sydney, as host of the famous Mardi Gras long weekend, Sydney is voted one of the most gay-friendly cities in Australia and in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Hilariously, though, they don't even make the top 5. So one of the gayest cities in the world, but they don't make top 5. I'll quickly read you the top 5.
Yeah.
Which... in some of our previous questions, you would go, oh my God, or I did.
Yeah.
So the number 1 gayest friendly city is Tel Aviv in Israel.
Wow.
And so
I think that would be pretty shocking to some people.
Yeah, well, because, there's so much going on in the Middle East, well, at the moment, in a previous question, it's some of those Middle Eastern countries that still prosecute people for same-sex relationships.
Yeah.
So for it to have a very gay-friendly city is quite it's good.
Yeah.
It's just a bit shocking.
Surprising, yeah.
And then runner-up to Tel Aviv is Berlin in Germany, which I kind of get. Berlin celebrates a lot.
I get that too, but that surprises me also.
European though, so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
Number 3 is probably not a surprise at all. New York City.
No. That's very clear.
Number 4 is San Francisco, they are a massive gay city.
Yeah.
And then number 5, we're going to land on Barcelona in Spain.
Barcelona.
Yeah. So those are the top 5 rated most gay cities in the world.
Wow.
And yeah, Israel being on top for that is really quite would have had no idea.
No, neither.
Yeah.
What country currently holds the record for the biggest pride?
Ooh, it's not one we've mentioned.
No.
Okay. I would say France.
No.
Okay.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Okay. Sweden.
Nope.
Denmark.
Nope. Brazil.
Brazil?
Yeah. Brasilia.
That surprises me because I would have thought for sure it would be a European country.
So did I.
Because the Europeans are so hey, fluid.
Well, that was the same. When you said Netherlands, I thought it would have been France.
Yeah. Well, what year was the first Mardi Gras held in Sydney?
Oh.
I got confused before, so I said this year.
1961?
Nah.
Oh.
1978.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said 1961 before.
Yeah. All right, this is my last question for you. What does the orange stripe in the pride flag stand for?
The orange stripe.
Yeah.
Is that the all-inclusive stripe? So includes everybody?
No.
Oh. Because I had this argument online with somebody about the soccer A-leagues.
Yeah.
Changed their logo to be a pride flag.
Yeah.
But it was like the rainbow flag, trans flag, it was all the colors, right?
Yeah.
And then this keyboard warrior,
Bloody
we
trolls.
all know who they are, decided to say, oh, so now what, you're against straight people? And it's like, well, no, all these flags are inclusive of everybody.
Yeah.
They're not excluding anyone. That's the point.
That's the point. Yeah.
That's the whole point. So I thought maybe that the orange stripe meant we're including the straighties in our parades.
So apparently, according to Google Facts, when looking this up, the orange stripe in the pride flag represents healing and trauma recovery within the LGBTQIA community.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that. It's really beautiful.
More spiritual than what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my last question is, do you know what the words Mardi Gras actually mean?
No.
Okay, so the words Mardi Gras are actually French for Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday?
Yeah, which apparently started as the beginning of Lent.
Oh.
So it was everyone would have this giant party to fill up on all this food before Lent.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's a Catholic thing.
Yeah. Fat Tuesday. That's hilarious.
The reason that it's now changed over to be a giant gay parade is because Ron Austin, who is affectionately known as the godfather of Mardi Gras,
really,
he's the one who suggested that we should do a march instead of just a giant party, because obviously marching represents a political protest.
Yeah.
And so that would be a moving street party. So you don't just stay in one spot.
Yeah.
It's a moving street party, and that would celebrate the community. He essentially said that the party turned into a pride parade into a Mardi Gras somewhat accidentally. So then they started to...
Accidentally?
Yeah. So he said it wasn't intentionally meant to be called Mardi Gras.
Oh.
Some people just started referring to it as the same as that celebration they would do before Lent, because it was so big and so...
the over the top.
Yeah, so big, so over the top. And he, quote, said, "I didn't mean a Mardi Gras. I didn't have much idea what a Mardi Gras was. But here we are. We may not be celebrating a French Catholic origin of Mardi Gras, but we love our big queer Fat Tuesday parade."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting, because I was wondering for so long what the correlation was between a Catholic pre-Lent
and Mardi Gras
to a massive queer parade, and I guess that was the closest thing that they could.
They should have just called it
was.
Big Gay Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, Big Gay Tuesday.
Big Gay Tuesday. Big Gay Fat Tuesday.
That's so funny. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something.
I know I definitely did. I had no idea about half those things.
I was really blindsided by your questions.
Oh,
I didn't know. I didn't think I would know the answers, but I'm glad that you went in that kind of drag culture direction as opposed to what I did, because then we really balanced each other out.
It was very interesting. It was very fun to learn, and I think this is like ongoing things. And obviously, as we have more guests on, they'll be able to help educate us as well as our listeners. Yeah, we don't claim to be experts in any of these things.
Oh, we are not experts at all. We are literally here just to be a voice in your ear and hopefully make you feel happy on a Wednesday morning or evening or whenever you listen. Yeah. So. Anyway, to end off this week's episode, we are going to give you an outro by Cece, and this is her song featuring Orson Randall, and it's called She's on Top. I hope you learned something.
Me too.
I know that I learned something.
I sure did.
And remember to
stay gay, motherfuckers.
And the angels and demons inside of me start to agree. That's how it goes. Whenever we're alone, I could almost call it home when she's on top.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Just Gay Stuff. Make sure to follow us at Just Gay Stuff Podcast on all your socials and write to us with your stories at justgaystuffpodcast@gmail.com.